Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so
I think a good place to start maybe is list everything we're going to use.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously you're gonna try and get a big ass knife. This one is a cheese knife actually. I'm not gonna use this. Yeah, you can see like there's like
Wow.
little
Yes, holes.
stuff there. I'm not gonna use this. This is merely just for the viewing pleasures. So basically a knife, the masking tape,
Got mine over here.
scissors, and then I have 2 sets of acrylic paint here. One is like quite dark, and then this one is like a skin color type of one. Then obviously you can mix it as you go along to get this effect.
Nice. I just mixed some random like fabric paints to get this brownish type.
Yeah.
Color.
It's perfectly fine. So that's basically all that you're gonna need with like obviously your paint brushes and then Mod Podge, which is used to like seal the entire painting. But obviously you can add that whenever you want to.
Yes.
So I think let's just start with the basics. Okay, so it's like a normal blade. It kind of looks weird now because of all the of all the masking tape. Okay, so basically there's 2 ways of doing this. Either you can take the roll itself and just,
start at a point.
Cover it. You can either do that, but the thing about this is if you do this, then you have to bear with the fact that you're going to start overlapping and there's going to be like small air bubbles and everything.
Yes.
I did try that part. I didn't like it because of the air bubbles.
Okay.
So basically what I did was you take about 5 to 10 centimeters of masking tape. This big is perfectly fine.
Alright.
And then you take your knife and then you put like half of it on the one side. Just leave the tip open about like 2 centimeters or like your thumb.
Okay.
And put it in the middle of the knife, and then you actually fold it over just to cover the blade. Yeah, you do need to be careful because it is quite sharp.
Yes, it is.
Also, you'll notice if you use too big of a piece, it will start making air bubbles at the other side where you. If you don't like that, obviously you can make it, piece by piece, separately. But what I did was I just forced it down and used something to flatten the air bubbles out.
I'm busy doing that with my nails actually, just like combing it.
Whatever is left here, like you'll see here is like a bit that I left open. You can fold it over, or you can cut it off.
Yes.
And that
I folded mine, so.
Yeah, you keep repeating the process until obviously the entire blade is covered. You can the edges you don't really have to worry on the tip as well because you'll cut separate small pieces to cover up those parts. Some people do, they're quite concerned, oh, but it's my kitchen knife and blah blah blah. So either you buy a separate knife or you can just reuse it.
Yeah.
It is going to be a struggle to get the masking tape off because the masking tape is quite powerful.
Indeed.
And then you can cover the top part as well.
Ta-da!
You don't have to, the overlapping doesn't matter. You can add as many layers as you want. But obviously you don't want to take the initial body of the knife away.
Yes.
Okay, so mine is more or less looking something like this. You do have to be careful though because it is quite sharp and you don't, cut yourself or anything.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important you start by the blade edge first.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's looking more or less like that.
Yeah, awesome.
You see?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so with the edge of the knife, you cut about, I'm going to show you, this much.
Yes.
It's about 3 by 3. And you put it, I don't know if you can see this.
Yes, I can see. Awesome.
Okay, and then you basically literally fold it over like a little present.
Yes.
And you fold it all the way around. The reason why I do it like a triangle because now look, it's like a very sharp point.
Edge. Yes.
Yeah. What I did with this one as well, because I was quite concerned of the blade is quite sharp though, this knife. Yes. So you can add 2 or 3 layers at the bottom just to make sure that the blade doesn't cut through.
Yeah, I like double layered mine because this thing is like literally brand new.
Yeah.
It's very sharp.
And you can do it all the way over the handle. You can keep the handle as it is, but I felt that if I have a silver or black handle or something, that it wouldn't quite fit into the whole Silent Hill theme because, you know,
Yeah.
it's a different color. So for me, I basically filled the entire handle from the edge of the knife way at the edge of the handle as well. So the entire thing is filled with masking tape.
Oh no, since this is your you know, tutorial of how you did your first knife, I'm gonna do the handle the way you did yours. But I kind of like the silver.
Yeah, your silver handle is pretty
Yeah.
cool though, but the one that I have is basically this color, which is pure black.
Oh yeah, no, I almost got one just like that.
Yeah. So the one that you have is actually perfectly fine.
I'm busy starting on the handle part.
You can with mine here at the bottom it was quite difficult. So what I did was I cut about this big. Let me just show you. It's very thin layers. You see, like this big, and you add it to the edges.
Yeah. I'm using a bit more on my handle just to make it look a bit thicker and separate from the blade, because this knife's quite sleek, so it kind of just like flows into the blade. It's quite a bit.
With the handle, I tried to make it overlap on purpose.
Yes.
Just to add some of the effects, because when you paint it, actually there's going to be certain parts that are darker than others, and it just looks old. Yes. So you don't have to worry that much about the overlapping on the handle itself. Yes, perfect. Cool. Okay, mine looks a bit different because I already did the handle part. But yeah, it's nothing too fancy as long as you have most of the air bubbles out and everything.
I've got a few air bubbles, but
there's nothing masking tape can't cover though. Or you just peel it off, put another layer on, whatever the case may be. It differs from person to person. So when you have your blade and everything ready, if you have a brush that is it's rough, it's not a soft brush. It can be a soft brush as well, but if you do have a brush that's kind of, you know, a bit rough, it would be really good.
All mine are soft, but
no, it's not. All you do, you're literally just gonna do this. Okay, we'll just do this. You can do this the whole time. I don't know if you can see it, like like that. Because you know when you polish your shoes, that's a rough brush. So when you polish, it leaves like these lines. So that's basically all that you're gonna do when you paint this thing. You're gonna do that the whole time. So it'll leave like these weird ass lines if you do that.
Let's see.
I'm gonna do the first part so I can just show you. Okay.
Let's see.
So, with that blood that Martinique gave us, I first used like a reddish color, it's almost like maroon, to first put on the bottom of the blade. You can use a really dark brown and then mix it with the blood. Either way, you know, the way you make the blade is obviously your choice, but basically what I just did, I just added a little bit of blood at the bottom because that blood, it actually looks like it's still fresh.
Yes.
So it like sticks. And then when you put the protective coating over it, it actually looks, you know, fresh all the freaking time. I'm gonna say here, you'll probably have to get your hands a little dirty unless you want to use like a...
I've got a Susati Stocky. So.
Yeah, yeah, so basically all I did was use a small earbud and I put a little bit on the edge of the blade.
Yes.
Let it stick for a little bit. And then you just smudge it a little bit over the edge of the blade.
I added some Ah, it's sticking. I added the white dots, can you see?
Yes.
Just a more or less. Yeah.
Yeah. Looks good.
Thank you. Haha. Cool. What's after this is all the Mod Podge.
Yeah. So once obviously everything is dry,
Yes.
put the Mod Podge over it, which will give it. It's basically almost the same as the see-through Q-Tex.
Yes.
It just gives a protective layer that will
Yes.
actually keep the paint as it is. It won't, damage it or make these random cuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically all to it. It's not that difficult or anything.
Cool. Oh, my hand is still wet.
Done.
I think that looks pretty awesome. Haha.
Cool. Also,